DCP Abba Kyari only recruits the most brutal element within the police force into his team. Welcome to the news and thank you for tuning in to listen. Well, Abba Kyari's name is all over social media. People are now coming out to say things that were not even known about him. People are coming out to give the opinion about his kind of person. People are coming out to confirm. And of course, we have people who are also coming out to say, no, this thing is a setup. This man is not like this. Let us find out what they are talking about now. What exactly is this person trying to make us understand about him recruiting the most brutalizing or people who brutalize people into his team? The news in detail, please stay with us. Man tells story of his encounter with Kyari right-hand man. Too much money. Who is on the run now? This is ASP John Umoru, aka Too Much Money. He is a former SARS officer attached to the notorious SARS unit in the Akuzu, Anambra State. I came across his name in 2017 while documenting the case of one Miracle Lokbara, a 23-year-old man who was arrested on 13 February 2017 in Akuzu, Anambra State, over a stolen phone and laptop. Miracle described that he was shot in the leg by ASP John Umoru and detained for 4 weeks without food or water. Out of the 9 persons detained with him, 1 person was granted bail after paying 500,000, while 7 others died of starvation. Here's an extract from my interview with Miracle Zopara shortly after his release from detention. We waited for 2 days without food or water. Then some of us started screaming from the cell, calling on them to go and give us water. Some of us started urinating and drinking the urine. One of the officers, nicknamed Too Much Money, came to us and admonished us to save our strength, that we have a long way to go. Because of this admonition, we increased our shouts, telling them that it is better for us to kill us than starve us to death. They told us that they would love to watch us die one after the other. We continued screaming, calling for water. Then the officers went and brought tear gas and sprayed it on us. But the effect was not much. We continued wailing. They brought another type of tear gas, powdered tear gas, tied it to a wrapper and released it on us. They then locked the passage gate, leaving us to choke to death. It was terrible. All my fellow inmates collapsed. They were foaming from the mouth. I was the only one cautious, but the effect of the gas was bending my neck and twisting my 2 hands. We were in that condition for 3 days. On the 3rd day, they came to check whether we were still alive. They found out that we were still breathing, though the tear gas dried almost all the water in our system, making us very weak. We continued begging them to give us water, even in drops. But they refused and told us that they would watch us die one by one. Some of us who had money inside our boxes begged them to go and collect it and buy us water. Then a station officer of the station came out and asked us when we came into this world without any cloth. We said no. He asked us whether we would go in any clothes when we were living in this world. We said no. He then left without saying any further words to that. It was then we realized that it was a death sentence. After that week, one of us, Ifeanyi, was granted bail after the family paid huge money. We were now 9 inmates left on the cell. Before the end of the 2nd week, 4 of the inmates died: Okechukwu, Ichenna, Uchechukwu, and Chinedu. The corpses were usually left with us in the cell till the next day before they were evacuated. During the 3rd week, 3 persons also died: Ngarima, Victor, Azubike, and Ojoto. Each of them that died was left in the cell till 1 day before it was evacuated, except Ojoto, whose corpse remained in the cell for 3 days and never started decomposing in the cell before it was removed. When they took the corpse of Ojoto, I was hearing their voices raging. This one had decayed. There is no need taking him to Akuzo. Let's bury him here. Then I managed with the little energy left in me and strafed and was peeping through the tiny window and saw them where they buried his corpse beside the soccer pit at the back of the station, there in Neni. Mike Ropara was saved from the imminent death when his family contacted the Anambra State-based indefectible human rights lawyer, Justice Uche Ujoma, who intervened and facilitated his release. Damian A. Ugu. Note, ASP John Umoru is one of the key members of Abba Kyari gang of police officers and also indicted in the latest Kyari John cartel, wanted by the police. He is said to be on the run and have been wanted by the police. He is also a millionaire officer and one of those that committed so much atrocities in Anambra before Abba Kyari recruited him into his team. Can you imagine? So he runs away. The soul of innocent people he has wasted will continue to hurt. People are hot. What manner of wickedness? I've said it before, it's like they teach them how to brutalize humans 101 or how to kill humans, civilians 101 in their various course outline. Can you imagine? The sad part of this is that some of those victims may as well have been innocent of whatever crime they were arrested for. Do you think they were guilty? Even if they were guilty, should it has warranted this without trial? You killing them yourselves? Ha! Now wow! Is this one not even? This is not ritual. This is it not a ritualism? This is it. You're killing people for no just reason, just because the only crime is they don't have money, huge money to build themselves. The reason why we have a justice system is to ensure that only the guilty are sent to prison to serve their term. That we have a police department whose officers delight in snuffing the lives of others at will and for fun is not only barbaric, but a crime against humanity. It is such story that led to the NSAS protest of 2020 aimed at compelling the reform of our police system. The involvement of DCP Abba Kyari in organized criminal syndicates would never have been known if not for FBI deep investigations of the wire fraud kingpin Ramon Abbas, aka Hush Puppy. Even with his exposure, we saw the frantic efforts of the police authorities to shield him using all forms of delay tactics. Now that he has been found complicit in another major crime with a global dimension, I wonder how far his backers will go in protecting him from the prosecution or extradition to the USA. Tomorrow, when Transparency International releases its report on the Global Corruption Perception Index, our government people will be the first to raise alarm and query the veracity of the report. There is no other thing that worsens the corruption perception of a country like what you have been playing out now with the whole Kyari scandal. His backers care less about the consequences of their action or the image of a country. Exactly what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying. How can we allow the fact that one man, you are saying it is better for one man, as in it is better for the whole country to be tagged bad than one man to be tagged bad? In this case now, with all this we have been hearing, this man should be, as in, this is what they call, Yoruba people call, kia 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 mosa. Is it Yoruba people or Hausa people? Kia kia kia. Let us, make this thing so that they will not stain us. But Nigerians were not seeing it like that. Some people will actually vouch for this same man. They will come and say, this one is a setup. Is this one too a setup? Could this be a setup too? On this note, we've come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.